Alright everyone, welcome back to Genshin Impact, and we are now in version 5.2. Now the reason why this boss guide took a little while to make, thank you so much to SunWei by the way, it's mainly because this boss fight is a bit odd. And the reason why I say that is because it's not actually its own boss fight, if you want to call it that, but rather it's an amalgamation of a lot of other bosses combined into like a playlist, if you will, where there's three like lineups for the bosses that you'll face, because this boss will actually morph into other enemy bosses that you have fought in the overworld beforehand. So you can have one of the Regisvines, one of the Hypostases, freaking Magu Kenki comes out of nowhere, and even it's like younger brothers with the whole like double slash thing. And you also have Primo Jovishop, which can nuke you if you're not far enough away, which is kind of scary to think about. So, without making this video 3,000 years long, I'm going to put this up on screen. And I want you to go over to SunWei's video and channel and like and subscribe, because this is what he cooked up after basically bum rushing the boss for like half an hour, if not longer. Basically, there's three different playlists for the bosses. So, depending on how lucky you are, you can fight a different set of bosses every time you come across this boss fight. And you actually cannot switch up the enemies that you fight until you beat it. So if you happen to land the Magu Kenki one, good luck. I hope you brought food. But essentially, the boss fight dumbs down to this. You need to bring a lot of people that have elemental capabilities that can do multiple instances of damage, so such as Amber's Burst. Amber's Burst, my wife is so goated for this fight. I cannot actually stress this enough. If you don't have Kachina built and you have people like Amber, just use her Elemental Burst. It like fills up half the gauge. You also have Kaya here, which I've chosen for the same exact reason, and of course I have double Geo because why not? But I'll get into the units later. But essentially, bring people that will do a lot of elemental damage, and if you do happen to have Nightsoul characters built, they will do more gauge per attack, essentially. So let's say Amber's arrow does one instance of like a fill up on the gauge, Kachina would do 3, as you can see in the screenshot above. So again, huge thanks to SunWei for doing this. This is actually insane. This is possibly one of the most like needlessly complex things we have done for a guide, and I'm just lucky that my man's is fucking cracked. So give him a fucking follow. But with that aside, let's just look at my party members, and I will show you how to fight the boss fight in general, because the thing that really matters is just the DPS phase. Alrighty, so we have Lynette with 2 ends, we've got my OG wife, Kachina, and Kaya. Lynette with 2 ends benched Lynette with 1 end this time around, because Lynette with 1 end is kind of OP. She slashes things for 23k for free, so I decided to bench her because she's too powerful. So for Lynette with 2 ends, my Traveler, we have Festering Desire along with 4-piece Noblesse. This is how she's been built for the last like 3 years, so nothing is going to change unless if Pyro Traveler is nuts. Amber, my OG wife, is going to be sandbagged as well. I'm going to give her a slingshot instead of her 5-star weapons along with 4-piece Noblesse, since I don't want her to do too much damage. We have Kachina, who's going to be our mechanics expert. She's going to be the one doing the whole Nightsoul enhanced attacks for the gauge. So we have White Tassel for the crit rates, because I want her to do a little bit of damage on with 4-piece Husk, since I don't have a Scroll of the Cinder of City set on me. For Kaya, he's pretty simple. He's kind of mishmashed. Amanama Kageuchi along with the Emblem of Severed Fate here. He's built like a trial character, so there's not much to see here. But without any further ado, let's just go into the fight. Do not forget that you can also eat food, by the way. That this exists for a reason, so in the case that you don't feel like you're hitting enough crits, or perhaps you're not doing enough elemental damage, then go ahead and cook yourself up some consumables. But to begin, let's see what we get. We win the lottery today. So, alright, we have Seahorse, which means that we'll also have the big clay horse guy, Centaur, and I forgot what the other one was. But this is the easiest version of the fight, in my opinion. So here, if you don't get his HP down to 40% by the time 30 seconds has elapsed, you'll go into the middle automatically like this. And here, his DPS phase. Use Amber's Burst, get Kaya out, start unleashing your stuff, and just get Kachina out and do the rest of the damage. There you go, DPS phase. And this lasts for about 15 seconds. So it gives you plenty of time to do some damage. And from there, it's literally rinse and repeat. Depending on how far or close you are to the boss, like you saw there, I was really close to him, he did that close range attack. But basically, from then, you're just going to just fight the other bosses as if you're finding them in their respective locations. Also, that massive Sigil that you saw, don't get hit by those attacks especially, because not only will they do more damage to you, but they also will chunk your HP, like you saw in the clip in the very beginning when Kachina just absolutely tanked something that she should not have tanked. The girl has gone through enough. But here, you can see with the Seahorse, you lose tracking when you swap on the character, so this is pretty simple stuff here. In case you're far away, when the massive Fatso is spawning in, he'll probably roll after you, but there really is not much to it, essentially. Here, he's going to jump at you, good. And because I slowed him down with Kaya, I easily dodged out of that one. So, I'm just waiting for it to go back into the center here, where I can go into another DPS phase, because it just makes my life easier. Alright, here we go. More burst. Also, this is kind of annoying because I can't see what's underneath me, so there's almost a good chance that you'll constantly take damage regardless. So you better get this DPS phase up really quickly, because if not, you might eat a lot of damage, which is not ideal. But here, I'm just going to do another Baron Bunny Bomb. I'm going to slow down the boss with Cryo, and I'm just going to mosey my way down the arena. Get a little bit of safe distance. I don't like to stay too close because it requires more reflexes. I'm a lazy gamer. So I'll just kind of stay away. But in the chance that it does spawn on top of me, all I gotta do is run away. Because, again, the boss does attack immediately. So you tend to get away with just kind of running away from the enemy and just dodging the enemies and going in for like a cheeky hit here and there, like you see with my Geo Traveler. So here, I'm a little far away, he's gonna run after me. It's fine. I'm gonna throw more rocks at him though. Gonna make this grown into your ear. This is not the ASMR that I want. Oh, ouch. I didn't actually anticipate that one. Alright, so after this, because I don't know, it's just my spider senses tingling. And then here comes the big one. Alright, so this should be enough to go back into the center. So I'm just kind of biding my time. There we go. Alright, cool. So this will be the last DPS phase for this demonstration. You can tell that I didn't have to use Kachina for that one. There you go. So you can see that Kachina is not 100% recommended, or sorry, not 100% required for this fight, as long as you have units like Amber who are able to do a ton of damage to the boss fight in multiple instances. It's not how much damage you do, rather how many instances that you do. So this is very important, especially when I can imagine that people in Abyss are going to start complaining about this boss fight. So make sure to bring the right units in the case that you don't want to use Nightsoul units and Natlan characters in this boss fight in particular. But yeah, there you have it. Essentially, the only thing that you need to focus on when it comes to this boss fight is if you're not going to bring a Nightsoul unit, and even then a Nightsoul unit will not save you, you're going to have to bring other units that can also deal elemental damage as they are doing the Nightsoul damage. So having support units like Kaya and including my wife, Amber, like you saw how effective she was with that elemental burst. It's actually kind of insane. So don't sleep on my wife, please. I know that she's been the underdog since the release of the game back 4 years ago, but I've been using her for a reason. She is the bane of bosses for like half the game. So outside of that, Amber Shilling, I hope that Abyss will be kind to us. I don't think it will though. because it's been increasingly getting more difficult as time goes on. But for the rest of y'all who are just here for the boss fight, I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to go to SunWei's channel as well. He did a very high amount of heavy lifting that honestly not a lot of people might appreciate, so I figured I'd shine some light on it. But that's about it. I'll show some extra footage and have fun with Chasca.